I don't want a worthless old lady around while I'm expecting, Sophia snapped, not even glancing up from her phone as she hit me with those words. I saw my son Alex nod along, and something in me broke like a window smashing on the ground. You need to find somewhere else to live. Mom, he said. His tone was so normal, like he was chatting about the rain instead of kicking his 64-year-old mom to the curb. The backstory? Well, 6 months before, I'd sold my nice 3-bedroom house to help Alex and Sophia with their house payment. It's just for a bit. Mom, Alex had promised, just until we get steady. Of course, their idea of getting steady meant dumping me the second I got in the way. I'd been staying in their changed garage for half a year, paying them money, making their food, and washing their clothes while they saved cash. I'd even helped Alex with the wires and floors when we fixed up the space, stuff I'd learned, helping my late husband with house fixes for 30 years. Sophia's pregnancy had been tough, and I'd been glad to pitch in. Silly me, I thought I was helping out. Turns out I was just getting taken advantage of. Where am I supposed to go exactly? I asked, glad my voice stayed steady. Sophia finally looked up, her face icy. That's not our issue, Evelyn. We need the room for the baby's room. Alex moved a bit, looking uneasy. There are places for older folks. Mom, good spots. You'll meet folks your age, yeah? Because 64 was like being super old, and I needed to be sent off like an old cow. I'd raised this kid alone after his dad left. I'd worked 2 jobs, skipped sleep, and gave up everything to give him chances. And this was my thanks. Getting dumped like a broken machine that wasn't useful anymore. But here's the deal about being looked down on your whole life. You learn to hide your plans, and wow, did I have plans they didn't know about? Okay, I said calmly. I'll be gone by the weekend. Sophia grinned. Thinking she won, Alex looked happy. Neither saw the tiny, happy smile on my lips as I went back to the garage. Days later, I signed for a comfy apartment in town. Nothing special, but it was all mine. As I packed my stuff, I had to laugh at their shocked looks when the moving truck showed up. You got a place that quick? Alex asked, real surprise in his voice. Amazing what you can do when you're pushed. I said nicely. What they didn't know was I'd been planning to leave since Sophia started acting, like I was just a servant. The apartment wasn't just a backup, it was better. And as for the money stuff I'd been quietly doing behind their backs, well, that was going to be their headache real soon. Moving day came with that fresh spring sun that makes anything feel doable. As I watched the movers load my things, I saw Sophia peeking from the kitchen window, her face looking a lot like she regretted it. Too bad. Too late, honey. Alex came up to me as I got in my car. Mom, maybe we rushed if you want to stay. No thanks. Sweetie, I cut in, my voice super sweet. You made it super clear. I don't want to be a bother. The guilt was bugging him now. I could see? Good. Let him think about it. My new apartment was everything their garage wasn't. Bright, clean, and all mine. No more sneaking around. Sophia's bad moods or acting like I didn't hear her gripe about me to her pals on the phone. No more getting treated like a maid who just happened to share blood with her hubby. Was putting away books when my phone rang. Evelyn Parker, speaking. The voice was sharp and businesslike. This is Lisa Wong from Thompson Real Estate. I wanted to make sure your checks came back great, Mr. Thompson. Is super happy to have you as our building boss. I smiled, sitting in my fave chair. Great. When does he want to start the checks? Tomorrow, if you can. He's really into that spot on Oak Lane. 47. Oak Lane. My heart jumped a little. 247. Oak Lane was Alex and Sophia's address. Oh yeah, I said, my voice strong like metal. I know that spot real well. After hanging up, I poured some wine and lifted it to my face in the window. Here's to fresh starts, I cheered. You see? What my thankless family didn't know was I'd been talking to Bill Thompson for weeks. Bill was a house builder with big ideas about fixing up areas. He'd been buying homes in Alex's spot, fixing them, and either selling quick or making them fancy rentals. When I'd heard he was checking houses in Alex's area, I'd told him about my mess. During our first chat, Bill's interest in that exact address was quick. That's a great spot, he'd said. Perfect for our next fix-up. I'd Been totally honest about my spot. Well, mostly honest. After getting kicked out, I'd started job hunting and called Thompson Real Estate about helping out. I might have pointed out how tight the garage fix was, how the place needed updates, and how the owners seemed swamped by owning a home. Bill had given me a job as a house checker and buy helper. Good pay, easy hours, and the fun of spotting places that needed fixes. Tonight, I'd sleep good in my own bed. Tomorrow, I'd start my new job, and by this time next week, Alex and Sophia would get exactly what happens when you dump someone who's been shielding you from stuff you never saw. The next morning, I met Bill Thompson at a coffee place 3 blocks from Alex's house. He was just like I'd thought from our calls. Mid-40s. Nice suit, the kind of sure smile that means work is going well. Evelyn. Nice to meet face to face, he said, standing to shake my hand. I've looked at your papers, your know-how about this. Area is just what I need. We spent an hour talking about his building plans. Bill wasn't just grabbing random houses. He had a big idea for turning the whole spot into a fancy area. House prices would go way up, which was awesome for anyone wanting to sell. Not so awesome for anyone who couldn't pay the new taxes. Now about 1247 Oak Lane, he said, pulling out a tablet with pics and house papers. You said the owners might want to sell. I sipped my coffee, picking words carefully. Well, they're young parents. First-time house owners. From what I saw, they're tight on money. Not a lie. Sophia's shopping habit and Alex's fun budget had them scraping by even with okay jobs, and the house shape could use big fixes. The garage got turned into living room, but I bet it wasn't done right with papers. Also, not really a lie, I'd helped Alex's buddy Mike do the fix, and paper apps weren't part of it for sure. Bill wrote notes on his tablet. Perfect. I'd like to give them an offer today. Cash, fast, close. Sometimes young families need to move quick. 2 hours later, I was walking up the known driveway at 1247 Oak Lane, clipboard ready, following Bill Thompson to the front door. Through the window, I could see Sophia's surprised face as she spotted us coming. Alex opened the door, work shirt messy, looking like he'd slept maybe 3 hours. Can I help? Bill stepped up, card out, Mr. Parker? Bill Thompson, Thompson Real Estate. This is Evelyn, my house check helper. I watched Alex's brain try to figure it out. His eyes went to me, mix-up and slow getting it fighting on his face. We'd like to talk about a work deal. Bill went on smooth. May we come in? This was it. The second when all I'd started would kick off. I kept my face normal like work, but inside I was counting down 2. 1. The look on Alex's face when he got who I was might have been funny in other spots. Mom, he whispered, his voice breaking like a kid's. Hi, Alex, I said. Nice. May we come in? Mr. Thompson has a real cool offer. Sophia showed up behind Alex, her pregnant tummy making her walk funny as she came. What's happening? Then she saw me and her face went pale. What is she doing here? Bill looked between us with the quick smarts of a guy who didn't build a big business by missing big stuff. You know each other? Evelyn is my mother-in-law, Sophia said, her voice tight. Was, I fixed softly. I was told to find my own spot, remember? Mr. Thompson gave me a job, and I said this place might be open for building. The quiet after was super loud. Alex's mouth opened and shut, like a fish needing air. Sophia grabbed his arm so hard her fingers went white. Bill cleared his throat. Maybe we should sit and talk. Work. They took us to the living room, the same room where Sophia had called me worthless just 4 days ago. I sat in the chair I'd never been asked to use when I lived here, while Bill spread papers on their coffee table. I'll get right to it, Bill said. I'm ready to give you $450,000 cash for this place, closing in 30 days. Sophia gasped. They'd paid $380,000 18 months ago with my help. That's real nice. Alex stuttered. But we're not trying to sell. I get it. Bill nodded. But I should say, we've picked this whole block for new building. The city okayed our plans for fix-ups, new pipes, updated wires, fast internet lines. The building will be a lot. I watched their faces as it hit them. Building meant noise, dirt, blocked roads, and house get-in problems for months. Of course, Bill went on. There's also the rule follow thing. Our first check shows some places here might have fixes without papers. Alex's throat moved as he swallowed hard. Fixes without papers. Garage changes, mostly. If the city finds out about no paperwork during our building papers, they'll need full checks of nearby places. Bill's tone was normal, but his point was super clear. Sophia spoke up. How long to decide? Well, building starts in 6 weeks, Bill said, looking at his dates. After that, living will be real hard. But the offer is good till Friday. That gave them just 5 days to figure how to get lots of money to fix their no-paper garage, or take his offer and leave with good cash. As we got ready to go, Bill gave Alex his card. Think it over. Evelyn can answer stuff about the building times. Standing on their porch, I let myself have one tiny happy moment. Take care. You too, I said, warm. I hope it all works out good. My phone started ringing before I even got to my car. Alex's number showed, but I let it go to message. Then Sophia called, message, then Alex again. The third time Alex called, I was comfy in my apartment with tea, and I picked up. Mom, what the heck is going on? His voice was high with worry. Watch your words. Alex, and I thought I made it. Clear, I'm not your worry anymore. This isn't fun. That guy is talking about ripping up our whole area. Mr. Thompson is talking about making it better. I fixed house. Prices will go way up. That's good for owners who want to sell. We don't want to sell. We just got this house. With my money, I reminded Soft, $40,000 of my saved money to be exact. Money I'll never get back. The line went quiet then. Mom, I know we hurt you. Hurt me? I laughed, and it wasn't nice. Hurt means accident. Alex, you picked to dump me the second I got in the way. Sophia was upset. The baby stuff. Don't blame this on baby feelings, I snapped. Sophia showed me who she is, and you picked to back her over your mom. That's okay. You're grown, but choices have results. So what? This is payback? You're trying to push us out of our home? I sighed, feeling real tired. Alex, the city already picked this area for fixes. Bill Thompson was already checking places here. I just told him your house had the kind of problems he looks for in buys. You could have told us, like you told me, before saying I was worthless. The words came out sharp, but I didn't take them back. Another long quiet. Then what do you want from us? I don't want anything from you now, I said, and meant it. I wanted respect. I wanted to be treated like family, not a worker. But it's too late now. Mom, please. Sophia is expecting. We need Steady. Sophia should have thought about Steady before she bit the hand feeding her. I hung up before he could say more. An hour later, someone banged on my door. Through the hole, I saw Sophia, makeup running down her cheeks, face spotty with tears. I opened the door, but didn't let her in. Please, she said right away. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was worried about the baby and took it out on you. But this is crazy. You can't wreck our lives because I said something mean. I leaned on the door, looking at her. Months ago, this lady had kept me out of family meals, holiday stuff, and even talks in my own son's house. She'd made it clear I was not wanted, not needed. Something mean, I said again. Is that what you call it? I was wrong, she cried. I admit it, but we're family. No, I said quiet. Family doesn't dump each other. You made sure I knew I wasn't family. I'm just the lady who helped you buy your house. We'll pay you back. With what cash? You're barely making it and about to have a baby. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't. Sophia's face fell apart. What do you want? How do we fix this? The question I'd been waiting for. The one that would see if this tale could have a good end. You want to know how to fix this? I asked Sophia, who was still crying on my step like a leaky hose. It can't be fixed. You can't unring a bell. Honey. Her face went through 6 feelings before picking mad desperate. So that's it. You're gonna ruin us because your feelings got hurt. My feelings got hurt? I said slow. Sophia, you called me worthless to my face and got my son to kick me out of his house. I sold my home to help you. And you paid me back by treating me like a load you couldn't wait to drop. I said I was sorry. You said sorry because you need something from me. There's a difference. I watched her think, her hand on her tummy. For a second, I almost felt bad for her, almost. Look, I went on. Bill Thompson's offer is fair. More than fair, really. You'll make cash on the sale. And you can buy something better somewhere else. We don't want somewhere else. We want our house. Then you should have thought about that before you pushed away the one person shielding you from this exact mess. Sophia's eyes got small. What do you mean shielding us? I smiled. Not all kind. Honey, do you think it was chance that Bill Thompson contacted you the week after I left? Do you think it's luck he got into your exact street? The color left her face as she got it. You see, Bill and I have been chatting for weeks. Nice guy, real into area fixes, and I've been super helpful spotting places that might like his help. You planned this, she whispered. I planned to shield my family. I fixed, right up till my family said they didn't want my shield. Sophia's phone buzzed. She looked, and her face got even whiter. Alex is coming. Good. It's time we all talk honest. And minutes later, Alex rushed in my door like he was on fire. Mom, we need to talk. Sophia said you set this all up. I said no such thing. I said calm. I explained I've been helping Mr. Thompson with area fix chances. Your place happened to interest him. That's the same. No. Alex, it's not. Setting up would mean I made the problem. I just stopped stopping it. He stared. All confused. What does that mean? I went to my kitchen and got a folder from my junk spot. Inside were papers I'd hoped not to show. Weeks ago, the city sent word that your block was getting checked for fix-ups. They needed to make sure all places followed rules before okaying the building papers. I gave Alex the first paper. This is the word. It was sent to all owners on Oak Lane. His face went white as he read. We never got this because it went to the old owners who sent it to their house. Seller who called me since I was listed as the payment. Helper on your house loan, Sophia. Took the paper from Alex's hands. You've had this for 3 months and never told us. I've been dealing with it for 6 weeks. I fixed due. You remember when I asked about the garage fix papers back in February? When I offered to help sort the papers, Alex's mouth dropped. You said it was just normal fix stuff because I didn't want you worried during Sophia's hard pregnancy. I was working with a builder pal to get everything right. Quiet. It would have cost about $8,000 and taken 2 weeks. The quiet in my small apartment was super loud. Sophia spoke first, but you never did the work. I smiled, sad. That was going to be my leaving gift too. You, everything right, following rules, ready for city check. I had it set for next week. Alex sank into my couch like he was done. After we kicked you out, after you showed your pics clear, I said soft. Bill Thompson was always coming. Alex, the fixes were always happening. I was just going to make sure you were ready. The weight of what they'd dumped settled on them like a thick cover. Sophia started crying again, but this time it was the quiet, no-hope kind that comes with real getting it. Can you still fix it? Alex asked, his voice tiny. I looked at my son, my little boy who'd grown to break his mom's heart, and felt something break in my chest one last time. No, I said soft. It's too late now. But as I watched them go, broken and finally getting the real cost of their mean ways, I couldn't help but think that sometimes the biggest lessons are the ones that hurt most to learn. The next morning brought 3 missed calls from Alex, and a text from Sophia that just said, "Please." I deleted the text and made coffee, settling in to enjoy the quiet mess unfolding just as I'd thought. By noon, Bill Thompson called. "Evelyn, I wanted to tell you. The Parker Place owners asked for a meet. They're asking about payways for the rule fix work." I stirred honey in my tea, enjoying the funny part. Payways? Seems they can't pay the $8,000 for papers and fixes right away. They want to know if we'd take part pays over time. And your answer? I told them the building time doesn't let long pay plans. The city needs rule check in 2 weeks, or the whole block gets marked bad during fixes. Perfect. What did they say? The young guy got real upset. Started talking about family duties and folks who should help family in tough spots. Bill's tone was careful, neutral, but I got the hidden question. Family helps family, Mr. Thompson, but only when it's both ways. These family folks made their spot clear on both-way duties. I see. Well, they've asked for the weekend to pick. After hanging up, I went to my window and looked at the city I'd lived in for 40 years. Such a pretty spring day. Perfect for fresh starts. My phone buzzed with another text from Alex. Mom, we need to talk in person, please. I stared at the message a long time, then typed back, You had 6 months to talk in person. You chose not to. The reply came fast. I'm coming over. I won't be home. But I was home. Of course. I just didn't feel like acting like we had more to say. 2 minutes later, someone knocked on my door. I ignored it. The knocking got louder. Mom, I know you're there. Your car is parked. I turned up the TV and kept reading my book. The pounding stopped, but through the hole, I could see Alex sitting on the hall floor by my door. He was there for 3 hours. When he finally left, he slipped paper under my door. I waited 10 minutes before getting it. Mom, I know I can't undo what we did. I know sorry isn't enough, but Sophia's scared about the baby, and we got nowhere else. You're the toughest person I know. You always fix stuff. Please fix this. Alex. The toughest person he knew. Funny how tough looks. Different when you need it versus when it's just handy. I folded the note and put it in my drawer with other stuff. I keep but never look at. Friday came with weird rain, the kind of steady pour that makes everything gray and beat. I was fixing my bookshelf when my phone rang. Unknown number. Evelyn Parker speaking. This is Patricia Hayes, Alex Parker's loan person at First Bank. I'm calling because your son put you as emergency contact and we have a mess. I sat down careful. What kind of mess? Mr. Parker called this morning asking to add a house money line to cover surprise costs, but our house check flagged some problems that need fixing before we okay more lending. What kind of problems? Fixes without papers to the building. Our checker noted the garage turned to living space without right docs. For us to go on, the place would need to be made rule-following. I almost smiled. The loan company found the garage issue on their own. Perfect time. I see. And why call me? Your son thought you might help with the fix costs. He said you know house fix projects. I do know some, I said. Careful. What exactly did Alex tell you? He said his mom was in building running and had offered to watch the paper process. He seemed sure you'd handle it. Building running. I'd been a desk worker at an insurance spot for 30 years, but seems Alex would say anything to get what he needed. Ms. Hayes, I think there's a mix-up. I'm not able to help with this now. Oh, long wait. Mr. Parker was real pushy that you'd already said yes. Mr. Parker was wrong. After hanging up, I sat in my quiet apartment and tried to think what just happened. Alex had told his loan company I was going to pay for fixes, not asked. Just thought. Even now, after all, he still thought I was there to fix his messes. My phone rang again. Alex this time. Mom, Patricia Hayes said you said no to helping with papers. I didn't say no to anything. I fixed her wrong idea about me helping. You told me you had it all set. The $8,000, the builder, all. I had it set when I lived in your house and thought I was family. That setup ended when you dumped me. This is crazy. You're wrecking us over hurt feelings. Something broke in me. Hurt feelings. Alex, do you get what you put me through? I sold my house, my home, to help you buy yours. I lived in a garage and paid you. I made your food, cleaned your place, and tried to stay out of your wife's way while she treated me bad. Mom, I'm not done. When I needed help after losing my home, you made me feel like a load. When I needed family, you picked your wife's ease over your mom's pride. And now when you need something, suddenly I'm family again. The line was quiet so long I thought he hung up. What do you want from us? He asked finally, voice small. I want you to fix your own messes for once. Saturday morning brought surprise visitors. Through the hole, I saw Sophia's parents, Frank and Linda Morrison. I hadn't seen them since the wedding 2 years ago. I opened the door, real curious. "Frank, Linda, what brings you?" Linda looked uneasy, but Frank got right to it. "Evelyn, we need to talk about this mess with Alex and Sophia." I let them in, made coffee, and listened as they said Sophia called them crying, begging for cash to fix paper problems with their house. "She's 8 months along," Linda said. "The worry isn't good for her or the baby." Frank leaned in. "Evelyn, we know there was some family fight, but surely we can sort it. We're all grown here. What exactly did Sophia tell you happened?" They looked at each other. "She said you left after a fight about alone time, that you were mad about not being in baby plans." I set my coffee down careful. "Is that all?" "She said you were hurt they wanted the garage for the baby room instead of you staying forever." Interesting. So Sophia's story had me as a touchy old lady who couldn't handle normal limits. "Frank, Linda, let me tell you what really happened." I went to my kitchen drawer and got the folder with city words. Months ago, I got these docs. I laid out the whole timeline, the rule breaks, my plans to fix them, the costs I was ready to pay, and the exact words Sophia used when she kicked me out. Linda's face went real pale as I talked. Frank's jaw got tight. "She called you worthless," Linda whispered. Among other stuff, Frank stood up quick. "We raised her better. I'm sure you did, but folks change when they get comfy using kindness." "Evelyn," Linda said careful, "what would it take to fix this? Not just the house mess, but the family mess." It was a fair ask from folks who seemed to care about right. "Linda, some things can't be fixed. Sophia showed me who she is when she thought it was safe. Alex picked to back her, not defend his mom. Those are who they are shows. Not quick slips." Frank nodded serious. "So what now? Now they face the results of their picks like everyone. And the baby will be okay. They'll sell to Bill Thompson, make profit, and find another spot. Sophia will learn choices have results, and Alex will learn his mom isn't endless help." As they got ready to go, Frank turned. "For what it's worth, Evelyn, you're doing this just right. We'll talk serious with our daughter." After they left, I sat in my quiet apartment and felt something change in my chest. For the first time in months, I felt real peaceful. Monday morning brought a call that changed all one last time. "Evelyn, this is Bill Thompson. We have a problem." I set down my puzzle. "What kind of problem?" "I just got a call from city planning. Someone filed a real complaint about our building project, saying we're using scareways to push folks out of homes." My blood got cold. "Who filed?" "Frank Morrison. Seems he's a retired city guy with links. Sophia's dad. I should have seen it." "Bill, I can explain." "Evelyn, the city is starting a check. They want to talk to everyone in house buying for this project. That includes you." I closed my eyes. "What kind of check?" "They're looking if Thompson Real Estate used bad ways to push owners to sell. If they find proof of scaring or pushing, the whole building could stop. And my part. You're listed as a helper who gave inside info on spots. They'll want to know how you picked the Parker place and what your link is to the owners." After Bill hung up, I sat still for a long time. Within 2 hours, my phone rang again. "Mrs. Parker, this is Detective Lisa Wong with the City Planning Rule Office. We'd like to set a talk about your helping work with Thompson Real Estate." "Of course. When works?" "Today, if you can." "This is Hurry." The talk happened in a plain meeting room at City Hall. Detective Wong was younger than I thought, with sharp eyes and the quiet strong that probably makes bad guys tell stuff they didn't plan. "Mrs. Parker, can you explain your link with Thompson Real Estate?" I explained my job as house helper, my know of the area, and my role spotting fixed chances, and your link to Alex and Sophia Parker at 1247. Oak Lane, Alex is my son. Sophia is his wife. Detective Wong's pen stopped. "You suggested your son's place for buying." I pointed it as a place that would get better from Mr. Thompson's fix. "Project, yes. After being asked to leave that same place." "So, they knew, of course they knew, Detective. Do you know the city rule breaks at 1247 Oak Lane? She looked at her files. No paper garage change? Yes, I spent 6 weeks trying to help my son fix those breaks. I set builders, got papers, and was ready to pay all fix work. This was before Thompson Real Estate, but you didn't finish that work, was told to leave before it could start. And then you called. Thompson Real Estate. This was the truth moment. No, Detective Thompson Real Estate called me. They were building the area with or without me. I just gave right info about place shapes. Detective Wong looked at me a long time. Mrs. Parker, some folks might see your actions as payback on your son. I met her eyes steady. Detective, some folks might see my son's actions as old person money abuse. I gave Mr. Thompson true info about rule breaks that were already noted by the city. If that helped him make smart work picks, I think that's good helping. The talk lasted 2 more hours. When it was over, Detective Wong walked me to the door. Mrs. Parker. Off record. Family fights like this rarely end good for anyone. Detective. Off record. Sometimes folks need to learn choices have results, even if family. Days later, Bill Thompson called with news that would change all one final time. Evelyn, the check is closed. I held the phone tight. And no cheat, no push, no bad ways. The city found all our building steps were real, and your helping was totally okay. Relief hit me. What about the complaint? Taken back. Frank Morrison called this morning and said sorry for wasting time. Seems he had some eye-opening talks with his daughter. That afternoon, my doorbell rang. Through the hole I saw Alex and Sophia, both looking like they'd got 10 years older in the past week. I opened the door but didn't let them in. Mom, Alex said quiet. We owe you sorry. Lots of sorries, Sophia added, her voice hardly loud. I waited. My parents told us what you did, Sophia went on. How you tried to shield us. How you were fixing all. And we, her voice broke. We threw it all away, Alex finished. We threw you away. I looked at my son. Really looked. He'd lost weight, had dark under eyes, and looked real broken. Yes, I said simple. You did. Can you forgive us? Sophia asked. It was the question I'd been dreading because I wasn't sure of the answer. I can forgive you, I said finally. But I can't forget what you showed me about who you are when you think it's safe to be mean. We want to make it right, Alex said desperate. How? They looked at each other, then me. We don't know, Sophia said. We don't know how to fix what we broke. You can't fix it, I said soft, but you can learn from it. Does that mean is there any chance we can be family again? I thought about the question serious. These two had shown me their worst, but they were showing real sorry. Maybe, I said finally, but it would be a different family. One based on both respect, not just handy. One where my worth isn't by how useful I am. Hope showed in Alex's eyes. We can do that, can you? Because Sophia, next time you're worried, will you take it out on me? And Alex, next time you pick between your wife's ease and your mom's pride, which? They both started to answer, then stopped, getting these weren't just questions. Think about it, I said. Really think. And when you have true answers, call me. 2 weeks later, they sold the house to Bill Thompson for $450,000. After paying their loan and close costs, they left with $60,000 profit. They bought a smaller house somewhere else, a house they could pay for without help. Sophia had the baby, a healthy girl they named Evelyn. It took 6 months before we ate together again. Not because I was punishing, but because it took that long to figure how to be family, not user and used. Today, a year later, we have a link that's smaller but tougher.